Everybody could please mute your microphone if you're not speaking. That will help with some of the background noise that we get every once in a while. So welcome to our webinar. My name is Sarah Jimenez Sofa. I am the director of the program, and this program, Doctoral Completion, is a program that's very special to me, and mainly because it took us a while to get it off the ground, but it's been a passion of ours for a while, mainly because we have experience with students who, for many different reasons, have started a doctoral program elsewhere or have completed a superintendent program that didn't have a doctoral program option, and really students wanting to go to the next level, but not having a lot of great options to do so. And we designed this doctoral completion program for that reason. So before I get started, this isn't a mandatory participation, but it's something that's of interest to me. For any of our participants who are new to us, if you could share with us in just a few sentences why you were drawn to this program in the first place.
I can start. Carl Morton, I'm the assistant superintendent at Menominee Indian. I started the doctoral program at Marian University and pretty much have everything done except the dissertation. And then I kind of ran out of money at the time to finish it because I was getting ready to put kids through college, and I just have the dissertation to do now, and I've got the what I want to do it on. So, and I met somebody at superintendent conference and was promoting your program. So I thought this would be a great way to finish up my PhD.
Excellent. Thank you, Carl. And you're not alone. We have a few students that have come to us from Marian. So we can actually connect you with some of those students if you're interested. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Abby Stone. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, I'm Abby Stone. I was in a doctoral program at Capella University, and I got through everything, was starting to write the dissertation, and I had 3 back-to-back life events. My mom had 2 bouts of cancer, my dad had a heart attack, and I became pregnant with twins that had hyperemesis gravidarum. So with all those things, I ended up stopping, and just in the wake of getting my parents well, raising twins, becoming an administrator at a school, I did not start back. And so I looked for a doctoral completion program afterwards, but by the time I started looking, they start looking at the years. And
Yes.
when I looked at this program, I was able to see that, it didn't really matter how many years you all will allow people to be a part of it. And, so that I really love that part, that opportunity. So that's what attracted me to the program.
Great. Thank you, Abby.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'll go next.
Thanks, Jared.
My name is Jared Dixon. I'm kind of in the same situation, same boat that Abby was in. I have some prior experience in a doctoral program in educational psychology at the University of Minnesota, but it's been about 15 years ago so at this point. My area of focus was in quantitative methods in education and more the educational research side of things. With a focus in statistics education. I kind of come from a background in mathematics education. My bachelor's degree was in mathematics. And then I took a passion for teaching mathematics. And then some life events happened, and I was not able to finish my doctoral degree, but I have almost all of my coursework finished, but I never got into the research and never finished a thesis or even developed a dissertation for that matter. And I did go into the classroom, and I have some years of teaching experience behind me, but I thought this would be a great time to go back to school, to bring some of my teaching experience to life, bringing some of my experience from academia to marry the two together now and to develop a dissertation and to then finally complete the doctoral program and have PhD after my name. So,
Hey,
and then also the Edgewood has this opportunity to take that prior experience with some of my completed coursework with this doctoral completion program was really a fantastic thing. So that's why I'm here to learn more about the program.
excellent. Thanks, Jared.
Thank you.
Does anybody else wish to share? Or otherwise, I'll go ahead and start.
I'm just shopping around trying to find the right program to fit me to help me finish my doctorate. So yeah, thank you.
Great, excellent. Thank you, Ren. Thank you. So our program, if I can figure out how to advance my slide here. I'm not going to take time to read this, but you can see what our mission is, and I will highlight the Dominican values of truth, justice, community, partnership, and compassion. And throughout all of our programs, our higher ed leadership program, our K-12 superintendent license program, and our doctoral completion program, we do really live these values, and we integrate these values in the courses that we teach and in the experiences that our students have. Our vision really is to engage you practitioners, which those of you who have shared, it's very clear that you're out there making meaningful contributions to your organizations, to your schools. And so our vision is to engage you in these really practical experiences and to teach our students the skills of research for you to become a better leader, researcher, scholar, and practitioner. And so for that reason, we aim to promote these ethical work relationships. We like to integrate theory, but really into practice so that the theory makes sense. We have employed many different faculty from many walks of life so that we integrate global perspectives in our teaching and our learning. And we do really engage our students in learning quantitative and qualitative methods so that you become a much better consumer of research, and also prepare you and we really do walk you through writing this dissertation. We understand this is the purpose of this program. We understand that people who come to this program have taken many content courses. You are working in the field. So we honor all of that. We all honor all of that prior work. And our main focus of this doc completion program is to guide you through writing the dissertation. And that starts from identifying a meaningful topic that you are passionate about and that you have access to a population to be able to gather data, or you have access to prior collected data that's really meaningful to you so that you can get this thing done. That is our goal, is to help you get this thing done. So what we require is that if you're coming into our program, we require that you have 24 credits of doctoral level work from another institution. The other requirement, if you are coming directly from a superintendent license program, if you have earned your superintendent license, if you, excuse me, if you have less than 24 credits, we have bridge credit options for you to come in to meet that 24 credit level requirement. So that's the requirement for coming in. They're not transfer credits. They're actually a requirement for qualifying for the program. So if you qualify for the program, our program is then 30 credits of research. And the 30 credits are actually 21 credits of specific coursework aligned to the 5 chapters of the dissertation, and 9 credits of working with your advisor just to get those things done. The reason why our program is a 30 credit program is in order to have an accredited program within our institution, the requirement is 30 credits. So we have designed it starting with chapter 1 to work you all the way through to chapter 5, and then to give you some additional time to work with your advisor to be able to get your your 5 chapters clean, written, and defended. Our courses are taught by our core. We don't have any adjuncts who are teaching in this program at the moment. So I teach courses in this program. Our doctoral writing specialist teaches courses. Our quantitative research methodologist, our qualitative research methodologist. Those, the four of us teach this program. So you don't have to worry about something coming in from the outside or having somebody new here and there. We really value this program. So our core full-time faculty teach this course sequence. And our courses are taught in an online format on Saturdays. And for each of our 3 credit courses, we meet once or twice for that 8-week period. And then as a group, and then each of the faculty members, I can give you my example. When I teach a course, I meet every other week individually with each of the students in the program. So all of the students meet together twice as a group and individually with me every other week. We also integrate some group work, but as you progress through the program, you'll see that you'll meet less and less with peers and more with your advisor and with your lead faculty. Because again, our goal is to get you done, help you get done, not get you done, but give you the support that you need to finish this project.
Sarah, would you mind if I added something to that really quickly?
Please, please, please.
Each of our courses are set up so that you're completing your dissertation in your coursework. So we know that you have all been really successful in taking classes and doing really well in your classes. So we treat this as really a learning opportunity, a teaching opportunity to bring you along step by step in each of the classes. It's really a great system because you're not just working on your own, you're part of a class and you're accomplishing assignments as part of that class that will lead you to successful defense of your dissertation.
Exactly. And Suzanne will probably mention this later, but our foundation of this program is we have a dissertation template. And the courses are really designed to help you fill in that template along the way. So there's not any, there really aren't any extraneous assignments. Really, the work that you're doing in this program is specifically related to you making progress on this dissertation.
Maybe our special guest is Arabelle still on here?
Yes.
Maybe Arabelle could tell our guests about her experience.
Please, Arabelle, please share.
My experience is that I started to do my doctoral degree back in Puerto Rico, where I'm from, but I never finished due to different situations. And when I came here to Madison to work as a teacher, I was doing my bilingual license in Edgewood, and that's when I knew about the program. And I met with Sarah, who actually, we went through the interview, we talked about the program, and I was like, this is it. So my experience, it's been wonderful. One of the things that I actually didn't finish back home, it was because I didn't have the support. And in here, I have the support. I meet with Sarah almost every week for that. And one of the things is that back home, I never started to do my dissertation. And in here, I'm about to start chapter 4. So, and I already have my data, which is great. And so it's amazing. It's actually all the professors, Suzanne, Angela, you have a question, you email them and they actually write you right away. And it's actually, I like it because it goes chapter by chapter. You have a question, you email the professor, you email one of them, and they actually like, okay, let's meet and let's talk about it. My dissertation is actually a mixed method. So I think I'm a masochist doing mixed method, but I did it and I've been learning about it. That's one of the things before I started to do it, dissertation, I was like, oh my God, I'm not good in research. And with this process, I have started to actually learn more about it. And believe me, you're going to have the support, you're going to have the hands-on right there talking to someone, and you're going to learn and you're going to finish. Hopefully, will be there for me. So
I would like to add, it's been such a joy for me to advise Arabelle. But Arabelle's dissertation is a great example of this applied and meaningful work. She worked at West High School. Maybe you can talk a little bit about your dissertation, Arabelle, and the support that you received at West High School, not just Edgewood College.
I'm doing my I started in West as an ESL teacher and ESL advisor. Right now, I'm a DLI teacher. I'm teaching Spanish, the social studies class. So I actually was looking for something meaningful, and one of the things that I actually look is that the mainstream teachers doesn't know how to help and support our English language learners. And I identify myself because I'm an English language learner myself. So my dissertation is actually to know the perception of the teachers, mainstream teachers, on how to support ELLs and what professional development needs they have. And one of the things that actually I'm grateful is that when I was looking to do something and I already had the theme, I sat down with my boss, my principal, and she was like, "You need whatever you need, I'm here." And I have her support 100%. And thank God, even the faculty has responded. And I did my interviews, my survey, and even though COVID could actually affect a little bit the process, but the faculty responded. And I have full support from administration. And they're actually waiting and anxious to know the results because my school is committed to actually help the teachers to support our ELLs. So.
Thank you so much, Arabelle. Angela, do you want to walk through some of this specifics about the program itself?
So the slide that Sarah is showing right now is something that we started to do about 2 years ago. We thought for the benefit of our students and faculty that it would be advantageous to project your meeting dates for the trajectory of your sequence. So what you're looking at are the classes and the group meeting dates, as Sarah talked about, for each class. And you can see that, for example, in the fall semester, each of these classes, ED 950 and ED 955, those each run 8 weeks. So you're taking one class at a time, 8 weeks. You're focusing on a particular element of the dissertation during that 8 weeks. And then in the spring semester, you'll take 2 more classes. Same situation, 8 weeks and 8 weeks. And as Sarah said, I can't emphasize enough, it's not only these 2 group meetings and then you're left on your own. Those two group meetings are then supplemented with individual meetings with your faculty member, perhaps small group meetings and your faculty member, online work through Blackboard, which is our learning management system, as well as many, and we're going to talk about these in a minute, but many other what we consider just-in-time learning and support opportunities for students. And we'll talk about those in a minute, but it's not you working on your own. There's a lot of support and engagement throughout all of the courses. I think, Suzanne, are you going to talk about this slide? Is this you? Okay.
Yeah, this is me. So as you're working on your dissertation for you and for us is really meant to be applied and meaningful research. So all of the coursework and all of the assignments are connected to not only your professional lives, but the work that you're doing in your dissertation, like I mentioned before. And so that research that you will need to do to complete your dissertation is integrated into not only like when you set up your chapter 3, your methods chapter, for example, we'll work with you in figuring out, okay, what kind of research are you going to do for your study? Is it qualitative? Is it quantitative? That's all embedded in that coursework for you. And research, your dissertation research is usually done locally, not always, but usually. with an emphasis on what is going to contribute to not only the field, your field as it relates to the research, but also to your professional life and to the lives of either students or administrators or in whatever other field you are. And what we do is we really emphasize, inquiry that promotes continuous and critical exploration of best practices. And that can be incredibly helpful for you as you go through, as you complete your dissertation. It's going to be amazing to you how much you realize once you get done, how much you can do and how you see the world a bit differently. Arabelle, I see you nodding your head. You're going to be able to see how research really can change your life. And maybe you want to speak to that just really quickly, Arabelle.
I can say that I like the format of the writing dissertation because we started with chapter 2, I remember. And for me, it was a little bit traumatizing at first, but it helped me because I understood why I needed chapter 2 so I could write chapter 1. So the process was really good. And even though my first time, like when I sent it to the editor, I remember I got frustrated because I was like, oh my God. But then I sat down and I went comment by comment from the editor and I was like, yeah, I needed that. So, and one of the challenges I have, I'm an ELL myself. So I have to actually look for things, check that it's actually written correctly. But actually I like it because you have someone on your side, like helping you through the process. And
yeah.
I like how it is designed.
And I would say, too, in other programs, you are really under a larger researcher, and you are like that work that you do is dictated by the topic of that already PhD holder, right? But that's not the case here necessarily. You get to pursue your own interest when it comes to your dissertation. And so, okay, this is what I want to talk about now, the multi-layered system of support. This is what excites me the most, in part because of my role as the writing specialist. We have a lot of different supports for students. You can meet one-on-one with me. That's the just-in-time writing sessions. We also have writing groups that you can become part of. We have a scholars retreat where everyone gathers. We'll do this when we can gather again safely, and we can all get together. It's like a big writing party. It's really quite fun. We have, I also hold writing workshops once or twice a month. So there are topics that we'll dive into. Maybe it's RefWorks, which is our reference management system. Maybe it's doing advanced library searches. Maybe it's a grammar and punctuation workshop, which was a huge hit. Who knew? But it was very well attended and lots of fun. So we have all of these things set for you to take advantage of to help you along the way, in addition to your cohort and in addition to your advisor and your instructor in the program. So I feel like this is one of the best things about our program, not only Doc Completion, but the other two concentrations that we have, is that we really teach, we teach, and we don't expect you to be able to do this on your own like magic. We don't expect that. We want to teach you so that you can learn how to do it and you can create something that you can be really proud of. Go ahead, Ange.
Sorry about that. The one thing I would add to what Suzanne said is that support extends outside of the people that you're seeing here on the screen. So as an example, last week, Friday, I'm in the program, but I'm in the higher ed concentration. Last week, Friday, I needed to meet with one of the librarians to go through RefWorks. He was so patient with me, a 30-minute WebEx conference where we're sharing the screen, we're looking at my files, he's walking me through exactly the process, of how to do that. And the library services are excellent in terms of helping you find resources, find surveys, obtain copyright permission on materials that you might want to use for your own work. They're outstanding. And the other element that I would add is really excellent are both of our research faculty. We have one research faculty, Dr. Tinglan Ma, who is related to quantitative work, and Dr. Kirsten Brown focuses very closely on qualitative work. Those faculty members are available for individual consultation, whether it's on survey design or analysis or what to do in the middle of COVID. I thought I was going to be doing this, and now, how can I modify so that I don't lose traction? And we're also, the other thing that we're very closely involved with is helping students gain IRB approval, which can be very nettlesome at institutions, but we have a process that we've found really helps guide students in terms of making sure their IRB submission is very well written, and that then when it goes to the Edgewood IRB approval, it's a solid document, it's well thought out, and that your revisions are hopefully fairly minimal. So there is a lot of support, and it's very, I feel like it's just in time. Like, you come to us, and we try to be proactive, of course, but if you're ready for something or you need something different, you come to us and we can help get you connected with the resources that you need. Looking at this slide that Sarah has up now, this is an extension of our support. Arabelle talked about her editor, and that is one of the services that we provide. So when you are working with your dissertation advisor and you've got your chapter 2 or chapter 1 or chapter 3 in a really what you think is sort of your best work at that time, we provide you with a dissertation editor, all who have terminal degrees and all who are experts in APA formatting, style, in grammar, punctuation, references, citation, academic writing style. They will read your each chapter, and provide you with really substantial feedback, things that you've missed, things that your advisor has missed, things that it's just why we have a second set of eyes on the work, second or third set of eyes on the work. And what the goal is in reading chapter by chapter is we want students to be able to receive that feedback early on so that you can begin to learn and self-correct some of those errors as you continue not only writing your dissertation, but other academic pieces, so that you understand how to make those arguments in a logical and cogent manner. We also provide you with a full dissertation committee. The editor is one element of that. Your dissertation advisor is a second element of that. And then we provide a role that we call the advising community liaison. At some institutions, the dissertation advisor chairs the meeting. At Edgewood, we have somebody, the liaison, who does that. They facilitate your proposal and defense meeting and discussion. They provide a meeting outcome in terms of a summary for you so that you know the next steps, and they provide a reading of your work before you go into your proposal and defense meeting. And the reason that we do that is because our goal with the proposal and defense meetings is that we want there to be success. This isn't a surprise. It's not a trick. We want you to be successful when you go into the proposal and defense meeting. So we make sure that you are getting feedback and that people are on board with the fact that this work is going to pass. The final piece of the dissertation committee is that last bullet point, the faculty representative. That is a member of our team who at other institutions it might be called a reader, but it's somebody who's taking a very high level view of your work and thinking about and commenting on how your work contributes to the larger scholarly body. So we put that in place for you. That's actually one of my roles. I facilitate distributing the proposal and the full dissertation for your defense meeting so that You're not worried about getting that work out to your committee members. You're not worried if everyone has the same version. We have a process in place for that. And we manage that really tightly to make sure that everyone's on the same page.
Thank you. Thank you, Angela. These are just some social media pieces. We're going to make this presentation available to you all, but I did hear from one of our students who is starting Completion in the fall that they heard, I always ask, how did you hear about us? And the reason I do that is our population is sort of a nebulous population. There's not a list out there of people who started a dissertation but didn't finish. Like, that's not a list, right? But whereas, like, if we're trying to recruit for a superintendent program, we can get a list of all the principals in the state. So we have to be creative in how we get our name out there. And the other thing is, we're new. It's a new type of program. So one of our students heard my interview with Central Time on Wisconsin Public Radio. So that made me very happy, because we never know how our message is getting out there. We do rely on our current students like Arabelle to tell people about our program. But it always surprises me, how people land at Edgewood for the doc completion program. And I do feel like it's where people are meant to land. So I believe in that. I do believe that our program is unique. You will not find another program that offers more support. I think friendships have been made when people are going through this process together. It can be a really positive process for people. I want to give people a chance to ask questions. So I'm just going to leave this slide up, but there's no real content other than how to apply. And there is a waiver code to not have to pay the fee to apply. So there's really no risk if you're interested. Once you apply, that will start the process of us connecting with you. I do want to mention one more thing. Should you apply for the doc completion program, once a person applies, we set up a meeting with each prospective student so that we can get to know prospective students more, what brings them to the program, what questions they have. We also have a incoming assignment, which is a doctoral prospectus. And it's basically a work sheet or a document where you begin to articulate what area you might want to research, what topic you're interested in, if you've thought about methods. That just is a starting point for us. I can't tell you how many students have gotten that and said, I'm really excited about this, can we meet? And so when I meet with students about the prospectus, it's like the goal of that is to hit the ground running when you start the program. And then we also have a bridge course, which everybody is welcome to take. Suzanne teaches it. We offer it in the spring and the summer. It's a 3-credit course. This was not available to Arabelle, so it's new. But it's a 3-credit course that is specifically designed to help you with that prospectus, to start to articulate what your research is, to identify areas in the literature that will support you, and to begin to discern your research question. And those 3 credits will apply to your 30 credits. So if you're interested in applying and you don't want to wait to start, this is a really great option for you as well. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now and open up the floor for questions.
If people want to put their questions in the chat, you're more than welcome to. I'm monitoring that and sending out some messages as well.
Does anybody have any questions for Arabelle, given that she's I would say 78% through the program. Would you say that, Arabelle?
Hopefully.
I had a question just kind of in general. Sorry that I had my camera off. I had to use this time to eat also, so I didn't want to be eating in the camera. So that's why I had a student in my office. But anyway, I just wanted to just get some clarification just to make sure this is okay. So if we were in a program that was a PhD program, it will transfer. Well, you said it's not a transfer, but we'll be able to get into this program, and so the ending product will be an EED in education. Is that correct, or just trying to get clarification?
That is correct. The degree is a EDD in educational leadership. Doctor of Education is what it says on the transcript.
I have a question. I'm sorry. Are you all done?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Oh, sure. Thank you. Okay. I needed to find out, first of all, the length of the completion program. I was listening and I was trying to hear how long they anticipated taking.
That's a great question. So it's designed to be just under 2 years. So the 30 credits, you take 6 credits. So basically, if you start in the fall, most people will finish by May, the 2 years after that. So just under 2 years. Our first doctoral completion student just finished, was able to defend in December. It took him fall, spring, summer, fall. So 4 semesters to finish. But typically it takes 5 semesters to finish.
Thank you for that. And my other question is how long has this program, the completion program, been around?
Well, we welcomed our second cohort last fall. So the cohort coming in that if you decide to apply for it, you would be the 3rd group. Now it was it took us about 3 years to get it approved by the college. So we've done a lot of research, and so it's been in our thoughts for 6 years, and in actuality, we've been going for 2 years.
The program overall, this is our 20th year, and we've had what I'm saying is our K-12 and higher ed. K-12 has been around the longest. That we've been doing that for 20 years. Higher ed, this is our 11th year, I think. And we've took the best practices from those 2 concentrations and years of working with students and applied them towards our doctoral completion.
Oh, thank you so much for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I should have said that we've been around a long time. One of the reasons that we started the program, though, Ren, was because I can't tell you how many students would call me and say, I took all these other credits. I want to keep going. We didn't have this program in place, and there's a transfer credit rule. So any credits that were taken, that were more than 5 years old, just couldn't come in. So you basically would have to start over. And it was heartbreaking to hear people say, oh, I just can't take another 54 credits. I've done so much. So that's really why we pushed for this program.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Elizabeth,
Thank you so much for saying that, because I made a lot of those phone calls to different people. And so I know that feeling of, I just can't do 54 credits again. Oh my goodness, that is a godsend. Thank you all so much. Thank you for having the heart for people like that, because I tell you, it's heartbreaking. So thank you.
Elizabeth
we know that people, there's so many circumstances that create the situation where they can't finish, and why not honor that work and give them a chance to finish? And we really believe in that partnership is really important, and the work that you've already done is really important. And I think, Angela, you're probably going to talk about Elizabeth's question, which I think is a
Yeah.
really good one also.
And
Go ahead.
so Elizabeth's question is how much time is needed to dedicate each week in order to finish the program. So Arabelle, I know you have to hop off, but I thought that you might be a good starting point before you have to leave us in terms of your experience about how much time you dedicated each week to your courses.
Okay. In this case, I'm a kind of person that I program myself. Like I have certain days during the week to actually like sit down and write or do the analysis, and it depends. One of the techniques that actually help and you're gonna learn it during the classes, is that you take like 20 minutes writing, then take a break, 20 minutes on writing, and it helps you to keep going. Normally, I take like 2-3 days a week, like full for this, because I'm teaching too. So I was like, I have to have time for grading for my kids and time for the dissertation. Normally, I take like 2 to 3 days full. Like right now, I know tomorrow evening is going to be for me to start writing. I have a meeting with Sarah. Then in the weekend, I'm going to separate either Saturday or Sunday. That's going to be for me to come down here and start writing. And one of the things I do is when I start writing, I don't care if I have grammatical errors. I just keep writing. Then I go back and I start fixing everything. Because if not, the line of thought, of inspiration, it gets cut. So, but normally for myself, it was like 2 to 3 weeks. And when I have like a due date, like we were doing the proposal that Sarah said, oh, for this day, I actually like did full like 4 days, or I have a 1 day, I make a full the whole day. So for that, so it depends on the person, how it is organized.
I would just add to what Arabelle said, because of what other students have told me, is oftentimes that idea of taking 1 day during the weekend just to really focus, whether that's a 4-hour period or a 6-hour period, is really helpful. And so we know that most of our students have full-time work and families to manage. So what I would say is if you're able to find 4 hours during the week and 4 hours during the weekend, it's very manageable. And one of the things we do to help that is Suzanne does her writing groups on evenings. Kirsten offers Dr. Brown offers some of those as well, where if you pick one night that I'm going to work late, or I'm going to figure out how to commit 3 to 4 hours, and then 1 day each weekend, figure out how to commit 4 to 6 hours, you can actually do this and continue having some, sense of normalcy in a job and a family life. That's not to say that there's not sacrifice. I mean, this is not a program where you just go to the classes and then, that's it. Because we know how challenging it is to write a dissertation, and that's the one thing. We can support you in all the ways. We can't write it for you. And so you put the time in, we put the time in. So for Arabelle and I, our relationship is when we meet, I give her tasks. She has questions, I give her tasks. She goes away, does those. If there's questions in between, she asks. And then every time we meet, now she and I meet weekly. Most of my advisees and I meet every other week. So if you think about every other week meeting with a faculty member, having sort of a list of things to do, doing those and coming with questions, and you stick with that, then you'll be successful.
Well, I have to go because I have a group at 1 and I have to connect in the other side.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your
see you, Arabelle.
experience with us.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Thank you. Have a nice evening, nice afternoon, actually. Okay.
Meeting, shut up.
Go ahead, Carl. Do you have a question?
I'm trying to leave the meeting and it's not letting me, so. All right.
We don't want you to leave. Thank you so much, everybody. If you have questions, please connect with us offline.
Yeah, and Elizabeth, I see your comment. I see you, and that's a great plan. Really great plan.
Thank you, Abby.
Thank you. This was marvelous. Thank you so much. It made my day.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful.
You're welcome. Hope to see you all in the near future.
Sounds great.
Okay, bye-bye.
Same. Jared, did you have any final questions? Oh.
I will go ahead and unmute myself. Well, thank you for asking. I guess I do have a question, maybe about the prospectus, because in my previous doctoral work, I did not get to a stage where I had worked on a thesis or even done much in developing a dissertation. So I have not actually done much work in really coming up with a research idea or plan. I do have some ideas, and but they're very much in the infancy stage. They would
Yeah.
I would need
Yeah.
I feel like I would need to do some work some reading probably beforehand, some that bridge course would definitely be something I would be interested in participating in if I applied to the program. And I think that sounds like a amazing opportunity. I'm so glad that that's available.
Yeah,
So I would
that's what I
participate
would
in
recommend,
that.
Jared.
Definitely.
Absolutely. I would recommend getting accepted to the program and then taking that course during the summer. That's a fabulous opportunity to do exactly what you just said. Flesh out your ideas, get your literature review, like a solid draft of it, and plan out your method. I think really that's if I were you, that's what I would do.
Okay. And I have some I have some teaching experience. I'm actually not currently in the classroom. So I don't know if that is also going to be a problem I think honestly for providing an opportunity for me to dedicate more time to my studies and to free up more time to the program, that's an excellent thing because I have the time available now. But I'm currently not teaching. And I'm wondering if I don't have I came from the community college setting, and my interest is actually in post-secondary education and in maybe STEM or in mathematics education. But I don't
Jared,
know if
are you thinking of like participants, and that's why you're wondering because you couldn't get participants, perhaps?
possibly, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to stop you from completing your dissertation. You don't have to have access to students in your classroom to complete
databases out there
research. So,
okay.
Yeah, there are databases, and Jared, there are also, because our program has been around for a long time, we have a lot of connections. We have connections at Madison College. We have connections at Edgewood College. We have connections all over the place. So we can certainly help you get connected to sending out if you're looking at doing a survey. There's national data sets. One of our quantitative faculty expert actually took part in the NCSS. NCSS, is that correct? The National Center for
NCES.
NCES. And she has access to all sorts of databases and national data sets. So don't worry about that. We've used Facebook. We've guided students in all interesting ways of gathering data. So shouldn't be a concern of yours at all.
That's great to hear. Well, that gives me more confidence. And well, this was very informative and motivational too. So thank you for having this.
Awesome.
Appreciate-
Thanks, Jared. Thanks for coming. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Sorry, I don't
you.
have my camera on. I have a huge mess in the background behind me. I'm a bit embarrassed.
That's okay. No worries.
No
We have
worries.
plenty of time
No
to get to
worries.
know each other.
All right. Thank you. Nice
Okay.
to meet you all.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you
You
too.
too. Bye-bye. Jared, you want to stop the recording?
Yep.